Welcome everybody. We're happy you could join us today. We are going to talk a lot about HireaHawk. Today, my name is Sarah Burden. I'm going to be presenting as well as my colleague.
And I'm Sherry. Look forward to showing you some of the features in the system today.
All right. So we're going to cover quite a few topics, as you can see up here. We're going to touch on an overview of the system, show you how to create an account, update your profile, post positions, request and manage an interview schedule, access the resume book, register for career fairs, and much, much more. One thing we wanted to let you know right up front is you're welcome to submit your questions through the webinar. We will be answering those individually afterwards via email, or if you want to submit your questions through email directly to Sherry or myself, you're welcome to do so afterwards. But we will be in touch with you for any of those questions you post during the presentation. With that said, we're going to go ahead and get started today.
Oh, use the mouse.
All right, so the first section we're going to talk about today is getting started. To get started, you want to log in or create an account by going to HireaHawk.com. Once you're on this home screen that you see here, you simply want to click on Employers Register or Log In. If you already have an account, simply log in with your username, which is your email address, and then your password. If you've forgotten your password, click on Forgot Password button at the bottom of the screen. If you're brand new to the system, you'll want to click on Sign Up or Sign Up and Post a Job over to the right, which will prompt you to create an account. To update contact information, you can log in and update the account yourself if you have a password, or you can create a new account and call the Career Center to have your new account merged. The Career Center's phone number is 319-335-1023. To update your password, click on Account on the left-hand side. Click on the Password Preferences tab. From there, you can enter your old password, then enter and verify your new password, and then simply click Submit. All right. To update your profile, go to Profile on the left-hand side. Enter data in the Who We Are section. You'll especially want to add an overview of your organization and the industry. This helps students to know a little bit more about you. You can also upload a logo, photos, or even videos. These also are nice additions to your account that students and alumni can use to learn a little bit more about you. If you have an interest in linking your social media pages, simply click on Profile on the left, then Who We Are. From there, scroll down and enter your Facebook, Twitter, and other account page links, and then click Save.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit now on posting positions. And this section is just if you're posting positions and they will not be attached to a schedule. If you're going to have positions you want attached, we'll show that a little bit later on in the webinar. So quickly, before I show you how to post, I just want to mention, once you're in the system, if you do have questions, there's a live chat feature in the upper right-hand corner. So you can click on that, and Sarah, I, or another employer relations team member would be available for your questions. Or if we're not on at that time, it would send us an email through the system. So that's kind of a nice feature if you get stuck while you're in there. And then to post, you'll go to Jobs and Internships on the left. Sorry, my slides aren't scrolling through. You'll go to Jobs and Internships, and then you'll click on Job Postings, and then Post a Job, and that's towards the middle bottom of the screen. If you're adding a new position, you can just complete the fields on this form, and you'll want to pay close attention to the position type. You can also set how you'd like students to submit their resume to you, so you have some flexibility there. If there's a position in the system already that you'd like to just edit and reactivate, you can go to the Copy Existing field, and you'll click on Show Archived. And this will bring up your postings that are already in the system. You'll be able to see those in that drop-down menu. And then you'll simply just edit dates and anything else that needs to be edited. And then you'll click Submit. If you're copying, make sure to remove copy from the job title just to clean it up a little bit. To edit an active position, you can just click on the job title. And then you'll click Submit, or that'll bring up the form for you to fill out, that same one we just looked at. And then you can click Submit. And keep in mind, every time a job is re-edited, it'll come back into our pending bin for approval. So it may just take a few hours to a day to get reactivated again. There's a few posting features you may or may not have seen since you've been in the system. The first one is pretty helpful. It's the preview of your posting. So this would show you what it looks like to students if you have any questions about what you've entered and how that looks to students. And then another helpful feature is the student views. So if you click on the job title and then go over to student views on the right-hand side, this will show you how many actual students have looked at your posting since it's been active. And like a nice way to use this is if you have a lot of student views, but not many applications, that'll kind of give you an indication maybe students are interested, but they're having kind of a hard time applying. So you'll want to look at if you have too many required documents or maybe your description's too vague. So there'll be some things you can maybe tweak to get more applications. Next, we'll look at how to deactivate a position if you've filled it or if it's just not one that you would like posted anymore. You'll just click on the withdraw button that's beneath the job title. If you do withdraw a position, just keep in mind that any applications that were stored there will not be viewable. So just make sure to save all those documents to your computer before withdrawing the position. And then if you'd like to view applicants and create a resume packet for your posting, you can just click on that Jobs and Internships tab on the left. And then you'll click on Student Documents on the top. Then you'll click on Batch Options on the bottom. If you click the box to the left of Batch Options, that will select all of the records for you. Or you can individually select students' names as well. And next, you'll click on Generate Book. And then to view the packet, you can click on Publication Requests at the top, or it's also over on the left as well. And as you'll see more as we go throughout the presentation, under Batch Options, you can also click on Mail to check to email those students, or you can click Save as Excel if you need an Excel spreadsheet of the applications. Next, Sarah's gonna give us an overview of the Resume Book feature.
All right, thank you, Sherry. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Resume Book, and we get a lot of questions about the Resume Book. It's a great feature to use when you're trying to do some additional targeted marketing, maybe do some searching for some specific types of candidates that meet your qualifications, etc. So to view the Resume Book, you must be recruiting for an internship and full-time positions, and you must already have a posting in the system. Once you have a posting in the system, you can request access to the Resume Book by contacting Sherry or myself, Sarah, at our email addresses. And those email addresses we will include towards the end of our presentations. So once you have been approved for Resume Book options, you will see on the left-hand side, the next time you log in, the Resume Book tab on the left. From there, you simply want to click on All Students. You'll see several different categories. All Students is typically the one that's going to get you the access to all the different students that are in our system. After you've clicked on All Students, simply click on Advanced Resume Search towards the top. This will allow you to do some customized searching. You'll see on this next screen here, you can click on different types of criteria, and then submit that to start running that report and seeing the process. Now on the screen, you'll see that there's students with resumes. Now we blacked out their names out of confidentiality for this presentation purposes, but typically you would see the name right there. So this is a pretty large list. It's all those students in there, unless you've narrowed it down with some of those search criteria. You'll notice on the far right-hand side, there are some dots. If you click on those dots, that's how you can actually view each resume for the students. You have the option of doing several things here. By placing a check mark next to the individual name, or click on the checkbox next to batch options at the top, and then you can select all. From there, click on batch options and mail to checked. You can save your search by clicking on the Save as Excel button under batch options. You can also generate a resume book packet by clicking on Generate Book. When you're done, be sure to go back and uncheck the marks next to the students' names or select the minus sign to unselect all records. Now that you've created your resume book or packet, to view the resume packet that you've generated, go to Resume Book on the left navigation bar. From there, you'll want to click on Publication Requests.
That's it. And now I'll talk about how to request an on-campus interview schedule. So to request a schedule, you'll go to on-campus recruiting on the left, and then you'll click on Schedules and Request a Schedule. And we typically like to have 2 to 3 weeks in advance to receive your schedule request, just to make sure we have the date available, and also to give the system enough time to move through every aspect of having students applying and you're inviting students. So 2 to 3 weeks is kind of a minimum. As far in advance as you can request is helpful. Once you get to the schedule request form, you'll just complete that and submit it. And the one thing I'll go over quick is just the OCR schedule types. They can be a little confusing. We have the room only, and that's kind of just what it sounds like. If you're going to build your own schedule and you just need a room reserved, that's what that would be for. And then pre-select and pre-select to alternate are if you want to collect resumes through HireaHawk, and then you'll have the opportunity to review those resumes and invite students. And then it's pretty nice because it'll actually build your schedule, so students can just sign up for a time right through the system. Kind of takes some work off your hands. And then open is rarely used, but that would be if you want students to go ahead and apply and just be able to sign up for an interview. You wouldn't have the option to do any screening, so that option is rarely used. In the notes section at the bottom of this form is if you want to let us know if you have any special requests. You can let us know if you need a larger conference room or Skype interviews, for example. And then you'll receive a confirmation email once this is submitted, and usually that happens within 24 hours. When your request first comes in, don't panic or wonder why. It'll say not approved even when it's just pending. So it is just pending, and we'll let you know for some reason if we're not able to approve it or if we need additional information. And then Sarah's going to talk about how to attach positions to a schedule.
All right, thanks, Sherry. So we'll go ahead and get started with this. Before you can actually attach a position to a schedule, you must have an approved schedule request within the system. Sherry had discussed how to do that just a few minutes ago. Once the schedule request is approved, you can attach a position. All positions that are going to be attached to a schedule should be added through the On-Campus Recruiting tab, not the Jobs and Internships tab. If you already have positions posted under the Jobs and Internships tab that you need to have attached to an actual schedule, please let Sherry or I know. All right, so to attach your positions, click on On-Campus Recruiting. That's going to be on the left-hand side. Then you'll click on Schedules. Under the schedule date, click on Attached Positions. You're going to want to fill in all the required fields that you see here and click Save and Finish. If you're attaching more than one position to a particular schedule, click on Save and Attach Another. You can also use the Copy Existing field to choose an existing position. This will pre-populate the form with that information. Keep in mind that you'll need to edit as needed, such as dates or position information, and then you can submit that. Your positions are typically approved within 24 hours. I wanted to make a special note that you won't be able to make any edits to a position that is attached to an approved schedule. If you have edits that you need to make, please contact Sherry or myself at 319-335-1023 to edit that position for you.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about managing your schedule. So this would be including creating interview packets, things like that, and making selections. So to make your pre-selects, you'll click on On-Campus Recruiting on the left, and then you'll click on the Applicants tab. And then you can filter by positions, and you'll click Search. Then kind of the same thing as we looked at before, you can check mark the boxes next to the students' names, or you can click the Select All next to Batch Options. And then you'll click on Set Status. And from there, you'll get a drop down that'll say Invited, Alternate, or Not Invited. And again, you just want to make sure to clear the check marks so you don't leave those students in your next round. If it says Select hasn't begun yet, like over on the right-hand side, this means that your pre-select date has not opened up in the system yet. So the next few slides, I'll show you where to find that information. To find the dates, you'll go to Schedules on the left, and then you'll click on the date of the interview, and you'll see over on the right-hand side is the timeline. So this timeline will show you everything from when students can submit resumes to when you'll see your employer select start date. And that's when you can go in and begin making your selections. And there is an end date to allow time for you to be done with your selections, and then students will start signing up that following day. So if you can't make your invitations, chances are it just hasn't opened up in the system yet. And then you can also add students to your pre-select. This is kind of a nice feature if you're going to an event and maybe the student hasn't heard about HireaHawk, or they're just not in there for some reason, and you want to be able to keep them in that same pre-select pool to make it easier. You can go ahead and go to Schedules on the left. And it's a little confusing, but instead of clicking on Applicants on the left, you're just going to stay on that screen. And then down at the bottom, under the Applicants section, you're going to click on Add New. And this will bring up a little form where you can type the student's last name into that first student field. And then you'll click on Go. And then you can select the student's name from the drop-down list. And next, you'll choose the position that you want them to apply to. And you'll select their status and submit. So if you haven't made selections yet, you'll probably want to set them as pending to keep them with all the other students. If you're kind of in the midst of your selections, you can go ahead and choose Invited to get that step done right away. And then you'll just click Submit. And then you can also email students from the interview schedule. Maybe you have an additional document or something you need them to do, or you just want to thank them for interviewing, that kind of thing. So on the left, you can click on On-Campus Recruiting, and then Applicants. And then you'll mark all the records you want to include. And we'll see Batch Options again, and that Mail to Checked. And then from here, you'll just simply compose your message and submit it. Using the Batch Options field, again, you can also save as Excel if you want the file, or you can generate a book of the applications as well. To download the packet, once you have that ready, you can stay in the On-Campus Recruiting tab or click back in there, and then you'll click on Publication Requests at the top or over on the left. And then you can view the PDF or go ahead and save it from here. And the packet will remain in publication requests for at least 1 week.
All right, now we're going to talk a little bit more about viewing an interview schedule. All right, so up on the screen, to view an interview schedule, click on Campus Recruiting OCR. You'll find that on the left-hand side. From there, you'll want to go ahead and click on Schedules. You'll see on the screen all the schedules that you have set up for interviews. You want to select the interview date under the Date column. So we've selected here April 21st, 2017. From this screen on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see the scheduled deadlines, just as Sherry discussed a little bit earlier. Please contact Sherry or I if you need to make edits or adjustments to your schedule or that timeline. To view the students who've signed up on your interview schedule, simply click View Interview Schedule towards the top middle. You can print this page, or next we'll show you how to print an interview packet yourself. To print your interview schedule, including the candidates and their documents, click on On-Campus Recruiting OCR on the left-hand side of the screen. Next, you'll want to click on Interviews, and that's over on the left. You can click on an individual student, or you can even select the All box next to Back options. Then you can click on Generate Book, and you can find your results under the Publication Requests at the top or on the left-hand side. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over to Sherry. She's going to talk about registering for career fairs.
Okay, so it's pretty easy. To register for career fair, you'll just click on Events over on the left, and then you'll click on Career Fairs, and then you'll click Register next to the event that you're interested in attending. And then from there, you'll see the registration form. You'll simply complete that form and keep scrolling through. You'll hit Next at the top. There'll be a few pages, and just submit when completed. And you can access your registration or view an invoice by clicking on Events, Career Fairs, and then you'll see the Registered tab there to let you know that your registration has gone through. And Joe, our events coordinator, will send you an email confirmation so you'll know for sure that you're confirmed for the event. And that was our last feature that we're going to show you today.
All right, so that wraps up our overview of the system today. Hopefully you were able to learn or just confirm some things you'd heard about so that you can feel a little bit more comfortable using the system from here on out. Like I mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, you're welcome to submit your questions now. Please include your name if you haven't done so already, and we'll be sure to get back to you after the presentation is done. You can also submit your questions to Sherry or I directly, and that we can return your emails as they come in and address those questions that you might have particularly related to your specific account and things that you have already posted or you're going to be posting, or even interviews that you're getting ready to schedule. So feel free to email us at any time today or even in the next few weeks throughout the semester. We're here to help you. We want you to become a little bit more comfortable with the system. We want you to help you recruit Hawkeyes, because that is our purpose here. And we look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great week.